Welcome, everybody. Today we have an esteemed colleague and guest on the show, Miss Alina Santana, who is an immigration attorney extraordinaire. So today we're going to talk about all topics involving immigration law and how they intersect sometime with divorce cases. So we're going to talk about being in love with someone who is an immigrant or who is trying to be an immigrant here in the United States and how it can be affected by both the immigration law process and the family law process.
When you are a U.S. citizen and a resident, if you find someone you fall in love, you can petition for them. That's what it's called, which means you have the privilege of bringing in your spouse or fiance as part of your rights as a U.S. citizen. And then in turn, that spouse or soon to be spouse has the right to apply for a green card for residency in response to that petition.
Okay, so I swipe right for my out of the country future spouse or fiance. What is the timing and what are the requirements?
Okay, so hopefully you didn't just swipe right yesterday. I'm going to pray and hope that you didn't. So the way it works is I can't file anything until you're married. You can come see me, I can advise, but I can't file anything until you're legally married. But once you do, we file, a series of forms. Like I said, the petition is one, the residency is another. There's also some other forms that include things like a work permit and a travel permit, an affidavit of support, which we're going to talk about in a second because that's a fun topic, and a couple other forms that need to be filed with immigration. And this is all filed as one big package. It all goes off at once. And eventually you will get an interview. And this interview is what people think of when they think of the green card process through spouses, which is the interview where they ask you both questions and they're testing to see if you are a real couple. And that's really the purpose of this interview.
All right, so let me interject a little bit on the family law side. Rich, before people get married, what are some of the documents that we oftentimes as family law attorneys may encourage them to try to fill out or obtain?
Well, the number one thing is prenup.
Really? Do you think you should get a prenuptial agreement because you're going to marry somebody that you just recently met and lives overseas?
I think it sounds an amazing idea to me.
Alina, what does USCIS, how do they react to prenuptial agreements?
Part of this process is filing what we call bona fides. Bona fides is the general name for proof that your marriage is real. Joint bank statements, joint tax returns, joint vehicles in both your names, joint car insurance, joint health insurance. Now, do you have to have all of these things? No. But the more you have, the more real immigration considers your marriage and the more paperwork. So basically, I am every divorce attorney's nightmare because, right? I know my job is to tell you to go commingle every aspect that you can of your lives.
That's why the prenup suggestion is a very important one.